Hi, I'm Mary, a librarian and book reviewer with a focus on stories written for kids, tweens, and teens. Today I get to share with you this book called Hannah Edwards' Secrets of Riverway, written by Ashley Hards. For the last several months, Hannah Edwards' father has been missing. He's the canola king. He's known as that because of his successful crops in their small town of Riverway, and Hannah is determined to prove that her father is only missing, not dead. But when the clues start to dry up and the investigation goes stale, Hannah decides that it's up to her to find the secrets behind her father's disappearance. Luckily, she has a best friend named Sam who's willing to help her and explore some of the paranormal elements of the mystery. And as they get further into their investigation, they begin to realize that people they thought they could trust aren't as trustworthy as they seem. So together, they have to put together the clues and determine exactly what happened in order to bring the culprit to justice. This engaging middle grade story is based loosely on the story of Hamlet by Shakespeare. So for readers who are familiar with that story, they will recognize some parallels and similarities within this one. But if you're not familiar with Hamlet, it still reads really well, and it's an interesting journey into one girl's experience losing her father. The character of Hannah is neurodivergent, and even though it's not overtly stated throughout the story, the fact that she's speaking directly to her journal for the majority of the book gives you insight into how her brain works and how she has to navigate her classwork, especially as she doesn't always feel like it's worth her time. So as she's going through this, she ends up encountering lots of different people at school, from the guidance counselor to her teachers, and she makes friends that help her figure out this mystery along the way. Also, because it is a small town, there are certain secrets that end up getting farther than she expects, and that's not always helpful. So the book is told from Hannah's perspective as she's writing into a journal. You have some elements where she recounts word for word exactly what happens, and then others where she's more talking about her feelings and things that are going on. There's a bit of a stream of consciousness approach to this because it is writing in a journal, and then you do have some of that Shakespearean contemplative feeling as the story goes along as well. Best for confident middle grade readers because there's not a lot of white space, there are no illustrations, and the book is a little bit on the longer side. However, it is written in a way that is really accessible and makes the momentum of the story move fairly quickly, so middle grade readers will fall into it for that reason. This story is a really curious investigation of both the story of Hamlet and one girl's journey to discover the truth of what happened to her missing father. And it's one that will connect readers to people with a neurodivergent brain, especially because this one is told from the perspective of someone with that experience. If this sounds like a great fit for you or for someone you know, I hope you look for it wherever you get your books.